What's up YouTube, it's Louis here, hope you're all well. We're looking at Elrond today on the daily time frame. We can see with this crazy pump we had over the last day, this breakout of this inverse head and shoulders over here. If we zoom in a little bit, go over to the 4 hour, maybe it will become a little bit clearer for you guys. But right over here I see the left shoulder, I see the head, and I see the right shoulder over here with the breakout. And with that confirmed breakout, we just take the target from the lowest point down here back to the neckline, as you can see, just like that. And then we put it on the breakout right there, and this would be our target, about 37 cents. This is interesting because where is 37 cents? It's our previous bottom, and I was telling you guys that we are hunting for this ever since over here. I was telling you guys we are coming for this because we lost $45. That's something that we should have never done. We should have never seen daily candle closes below $45. It was this higher low over here, and with that dump because of FTX back in November, early November, I was saying ever since then we will eventually lose this. Now I'm just repeating this because we're now coming back up into that area, but you need to understand, because that was our bottom and only now this is the first time we're rejecting it, we have to, yeah, exactly, we've just flipped the bottom from the bottom into a ceiling, resistance essentially. So where once we were having pumps from, we're going to now dump from. Now of course, because this wick is so big, just as in the past back up here, I warned you guys specifically saying it's such a large wick, this is going to go down, but we could fill in the wick first. I do not believe we will take out the high, but yeah, I could see it coming back up to the 55. That's what I said back then on this day. We started heading towards it. We didn't quite get to the 55, so wait for a loss of the 20. You see we had a doji there and then we lost it. So on that loss, that's our signal. We're going to continue lower. If you did not believe in this, wait for the loss of the golden pocket, because remember guys, you have this golden pocket there to show you I've had this big push up. This is halfway of the big push up. So if I go down to there, I've retraced halfway. This would be 61.8%. This would be 78.6%. So if I go down here, I'm retracing 78.6 before reversing. So basically you're meant to come to the 618 and then continue up. Was that the case? No. So this is something called the reversal wave. What I just drew, push, exhaust to the golden pocket and then continue on your trend. This is something we call a Fibonacci retracement, but we can use this tool in another way. If you lose the golden pocket, we use this tool as a reversal wave tool, and that means we will now head to the 1618. We did so in the last updates that I made you back last year, the end of last year, and we're heading towards the two targets. In the last updates, I just mentioned that I'm still expecting $30 and $20 unless there's such significant changes. For me, those changes would be a reclaim of 65. I know that seems light years away, but unfortunately guys, that is the truth. That is why I haven't been making too many Elrond videos over the last days and weeks, a couple of weeks, simply because we need to reclaim where the FTX capitulation began. And we've already pushed down, retraced and continued. You're just continuing with your downtrend, you're just retracing again for the continuation lower. So what we need to identify now is, with this dump over here, where did it begin? And it actually began with, similarly to what we're seeing right now with this wick. Now it's in a different circumstance because we have the EMAs over here. We don't have the EMAs quite here. So if we get above the 20, the EMAs themselves, if we don't rely on anything else and just on the EMAs, they would suggest that we could actually pump towards the 55. And the 55 EMA is this orange one over here at around $39. So actually getting above the 20 EMA, which is 35, a daily candle close above $35, could signal a pump towards 38. However, what we need to realize is that on the way there at about $37, there is the previous bottom over here that is acting now as resistance with this wick rejection. So what would signal that potentially we could be filling in this wick is a daily candle close above 35. Then it's going to try and attempt to get back above this, which in my personal view, I don't think it will. I will be anticipating from now on, because there's no further information at the moment, going off the information I'm given as of today, the expectation is us to not close above this. If we're given otherwise, if it closes above it, I'm going to show you the path it will go on. If it doesn't close above it, which in my personal view, I don't think it will, because we're rejecting the previous low, the previous bottom that was in since June has just been lost. And just yesterday, the June bottom just yesterday was retested as a resistance for the first time. This bottom was set in June, and this was the first time it was tested as resistance, and that was yesterday, this green box over here. So of course, I'm going to have to make these boxes red now, because again, it is resistance. So that's why we're anticipating rejections from here, and this is why we don't believe that it would go above. In the freak scenario, it does reclaim. Let me prepare you guys. So what I would say is that 42 to 43 for me personally, and between 42 and 45, this is a solid brick wall of resistance going forward. I'm just going to get rid of that. But this would be a solid brick wall of resistance going forward, even if we were to reclaim this $37 level, which again, I do not anticipate because of the wick rejections off this bottom. I'm anticipating that we could even fill it in. Doesn't mean all the way, just try and fill it in and still roll over. So yeah, I am still expecting $30 and then potentially $20, unless we're seeing those invalidation signs, which at the moment is not the expectation. It can happen. I've just shown you the scenario. We need to push through $45 and then $65. So for me to flip bullish on Elrond, get above 45 and get above 65, and then that's where we're bullish. So again, that's going to take a very long time, so things are not going to change so swiftly. In this area, we could be forming, you could form, if you were to get up there could be a potential inverse head and shoulders if we were to ever climb back up to those levels. But for me personally, I think you've got this high over here, you've got this low. Let's get the fibs out from the high to the low. You can see if we get rid of all these other fibs with the bearish targets and just that golden pocket for now, we've got a golden pocket between $40 and $41 with the 786 at 44. And if you've been keeping up to date with the other altcoin and Bitcoin videos, you'd know that we can go as deep as the 786. You can come up all the way to the 786 and still continue lower. Why? Because this is the push down. You began the push there. If I come up to there and I stop and I start coming back down, is that an uptrend? No, because this is lower than that. So you can come up to the 786, 44, let's call it 45, which we were saying earlier. We can come up to $45 and still have a risk of continuing lower to 30 to 20. So that's why we just can't get too excited for the moment. Of course, I would love, we've got potential left, I would love for a right shoulder to form here and we break out. If I see that, the target 65, and I'll let you guys know. But as of now, we shouldn't really be expecting that, because again, we've just lost the bottom, and only yesterday, for the first time ever since losing it, retested it. And that bottom was put in, summer last year, 7 months ago, guys. So for the first time in 7 months, you finally touched it. Think about it like that. Thank you guys so much. Like, subscribe, and comment, and of course, peace.